it's Karina, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be guiding you through some gentle, beginner-friendly yoga to help you sleep. So a lot of times at the end of the day, we just have so much physical and mental tension kind of running haywire throughout the body. It can prevent us from falling asleep. So if you're looking for something that can help you kind of sink into a more relaxed state, then this is the class for you. And thank you so much for joining me. We're going to begin in our easy seat. So little cross-legged seated position. You can kind of take a moment to just move the flesh away from the sit bones a little bit so that you feel nice and grounded. And just take a moment here to kind of notice. If sitting this way is uncomfortable for you, you can do this in a chair, or you can also kind of let your legs come out a little farther from the body, or even sit up on a little pillow or bolster, and that can kind of help make this a little bit more accessible. But I want you to focus on really sitting up nice and tall and feeling that your spine is really lengthened. So most of the day, we're kind of going throughout our day, the spine is either compressed by our posture or just compressed by gravity. So here, finding this nice stable seat, I want you to envision a string gently pulling you up, lifting you up out of your spine a little bit, creating this really nice long length space between every vertebra. From here, go ahead and drop your head, bringing your chin towards your chest and looking down at the floor beneath you. And we're just going to do some gentle neck rolls. So really slowly rolling the head over to the right, and then bringing the head back down through center, and then to the left. Breathing, and just continuing these really gentle little neck rolls. Letting your breath really move into any areas of tension that you feel. And then coming back through center, nice and gently lift your head back up. Now again, we'll drop the right ear to the right side. So this time feeling a slightly different sensation through the side of the neck. Breathe and then come back up through center. And now dropping the left ear towards the left shoulder. Nice big stretch in the right side of the neck. And bringing the head back up through center. And then from here, we're just gonna slightly tilt our head back. So we don't wanna crunch the cervical spine or the neck there, but just kind of gently bringing your chin towards the sky, only to the point that maybe you start feeling a little sensation in the back of the neck. And then you can just really slightly kind of move from the left to the right there. And then back up through center, we'll drop the head again. And this time rolling all the way around to your comfort level. So starting by dropping the ear towards the right, letting the head kind of come up a little bit to the back, the left, and then back down to the front. So now let's go in the opposite direction. So with our chin down at the chest, now we'll bring our head to the left side and gently back to the right and all the way back down. Take one more breath in here and then nice and slowly lifting your head. So now we're gonna do a little bit of side stretching. So go ahead and lift your arms up nice and tall, feeling that long length through the spine. And then bringing your right hand to the right side of your mat next to you, start to lean your body to the right. So I really want you to focus on not just letting your body kind of drop over, keeping yourself supported with the right hand, and just feeling that deep stretch through the left side body. So you want to make sure that your sitting bone on the left side is staying connected. You're not lifting your hip up off the mat. And just really feeling that nice deep stretch in the left side body. Breathe into it. And I'm just kind of making little kind of gentle, not really even a pulse, just kind of moving really nice and slowly, feeling that stretch. Breathe, and then bring yourself back up. Lift both arms up to the sky, and now we'll take it to the other side. So left hand comes down next to you. Right arm starts to reach over to the left side of your body. And just breathe here, really kind of feeling that stretch. You can also think about, rather than bringing your front arm forward of the body, kind of keeping it over your body. That'll kind of help you keep the stretch in the side. Feeling that nice long engagement, and then coming back up through center. Bring both arms up again, and this time we're gonna twist. So twisting your body to the right, bringing your right arm back behind you, and your left hand to your right knee to help just slightly twist the body a little bit more. Lifting up nice and tall on your inhale, and on your exhale, maybe you twist a little more deeply. Breathe in this twist, feeling that movement in the spine. And then we'll bring the arms back up, coming through center here and twisting to the other side. So now left arm comes back behind you, right arm, right hand comes to the right knee. Inhale, lifts up, nice long spine, and exhale, twist a little deeper. Breathing here. Noticing the sensation. Sending your breath to any areas that feel tense or tight. And then with both arms coming back up through center. And now we're gonna fold our body forward. So feel that nice length pulling you up nice and tall, and then hinging at the hips. Start to bring your body forward over your legs. And just feel kind of this stretch in the low back and hips. And as you breathe here, maybe you fold a little bit more. And then lastly, we're gonna go ahead and let the spine curve down. So now folding over. I like to bring my forearms to the ground in front of me, kind of to support me here. And then you can let your head drop. And breathe. And just notice. And then using your hands to help lift your body back up here, coming back up to our nice seat. And go ahead and switch the position of your feet. So I know for myself, kind of my natural position in this way is that my right leg is in closer to my body and it's underneath the left shin. So I'm just gonna switch them. Bring my left leg a little closer. Right leg comes a little farther from the body. And just notice already, this may feel a little bit more awkward. This is just one example of how we will tend towards certain habitual postures or positions, and simply trying to bring more balance to the body by noticing those little habits and kind of switching it up a little bit can really do a lot to help address some of that tension that builds up. So we're just gonna sit here for a moment, feeling that length through the spine. You can even bring your hands to your sides a little bit and kind of lift yourself up slightly, helping you kind of resituate over the hip bones. And then go ahead, leave the left leg in close to your body, and we're gonna extend the right leg out. So sometimes you may see people having their leg really all the way out to the side of the body, but that's quite an intense stretch. So since we're getting ready for relaxation here, I don't want you to go into your deepest feeling of this stretch. So for me, my leg is just kind of out a little bit of the way. The knee of the bent leg may be up a little bit, that's okay. But I do want you to feel that both of your sitting bones are making contact with the mat. And then just kind of noticing the sensation here. Already, you probably are feeling that little stretch through the inner thigh. And then go ahead, lift the arms up again. And now we're gonna take that little side bend again. So placing the right arm down next to you, think about stretching the left arm over. So we're not actually twisting the spine a lot, but just kind of energetically, kind of preventing the body from coming forward too much here. So we want to stay nice and lifted, stretching over a little bit. Let your breath kind of guide you. Maybe you start to come a little bit more deeply, feeling that nice big stretch in the left side of your lower back. Breathing here. And then using your right arm to lift you back up. So now we'll switch the legs. So bringing the right leg in, the right foot toward the groin, left leg extends now. And again, just finding a comfortable stretch here for the legs. And then go ahead, adjust as needed to feel that you're nice and tall here. Lift the arms up. And now left hand comes down beside you, right arm reaches over, just kind of gently thinking about sending that arm back. And you can kind of feel the difference and the sensation in the stretch in the back as you kind of maybe notice that you're leaning forward and you just open out a little bit. You'll actually be able to stretch more deeply. Breathe. And then using your left hand to help push you back up. Now I'm gonna turn to the side so we can extend our legs out long on the mat here. And go ahead and start by kind of keeping the knees bent a little bit here. So feel nice and lifted here. Feel that you can sit up nice and tall. And I actually feel my hip flexors engaged, just trying to sit up nice and tall here. You can place your hands down by your side to even help lift you up a little bit more, or just kind of help give a little more support. And then we'll slowly start to extend the right leg, and then bend it, and extend the left. So we're just kind of slowly starting to stretch out the hamstrings a little bit. So now bring the left leg back, extend the right leg. You can kind of point and flex through that foot, just kind of getting the blood flow moving through the leg. And then we'll switch again. Right leg comes back up, left leg extends. And if it feels good to kind of hold on to the knee of the bent leg, you can do that as well. joining, flexing, breathing here. And then if it feels okay to have both legs extended, I'm gonna start with them bent and then just slowly extend both legs. And you may kind of notice that it already becomes more difficult to sit up straight. And if that's the case for you, you can leave your legs bent or sit for a moment in this lovely staff pose, feeling how even this kind of gentle seat actually engages through the legs. Spine is working here. And we're gonna start to fold over. So if your legs are still bent, that's totally fine. You can just start to kind of lean your body over your knees here, breathing. Or if your legs are extended, again, we're gonna think about not just folding over, but kind of just leaning over, keeping the back straight. So this idea of hinging at the hips. And just breathe here. You can visualize that string again that we talked about at the beginning of class that was pulling up. Then now it's kind of coming from the chest, pulling forward. So feeling all of the different sensations as we start to fold over. And then use your hands to push you back up. Go ahead and bring the feet now into a little butterfly position. So the feet come to kind of kiss one another. They may kind of splay open a little bit like a book. That's okay. So it's just kind of the two edges of the feet are in contact. And notice again that you're able to sit up nice and tall here. You can adjust a little bit to feel a little bit more grounded through the sitting bones. And find that perfect kind of comfortable distance for the feet from your body. So the closer you bring the feet into the body, the deeper the sensation and the stretch will be through the inner thighs. So if it's feeling really intense for you, totally fine to leave some more space there. Again, prioritizing that nice lifted spine and those really deep, slow breaths, helping to let your nervous system know that it is time to relax. So you can hold on to your ankles here. You can even kind of pull your body toward your ankles a little bit. You could also take the toes if that feels okay for you and if it doesn't compromise your back too much. So if suddenly you're kind of arched over to take your toes, then just keep your hands on the shins or on the ankles. Feeling nice and lifted. Breathing. And then coming again into that just kind of easy cross-legged position. I'm taking my awkward variation with my left leg in closer to my body, but whatever kind of seat is comfortable for you here. So we're gonna spend just a few moments getting a nice stretch through the shoulders. So finding a comfortable seat here where you can be nice and lifted. And then extend your right arm out beside you with your thumb facing down. Already you should kind of feel this sort of engagement through the front of the deltoid, the front of the shoulder. And then we're gonna start to wrap the arm back behind our body, bringing the back of your hand either to the lower back, or you can kind of start creeping it up a little bit and just finding what feels nice for you. So we're kind of moving towards that like Gomukhasana arms, but for now we're just gonna focus on this one arm. And if it feels more comfortable to have your arm a little lower or even down all the way, that's totally fine. I just want you to notice kind of the sensation you might be feeling on the front of the shoulder, stretching back. And then that should also feel really nice, just kind of moving the arm into a position it's not usually in. If this is really intense for you, totally fine to come out of it. But if this feels okay, just breathe here. You can even slightly press the back of your hand into your back just a little bit to kind of feel that a little bit more deeply. And then really slowly coming out the way we came in. So bringing the right arm back out. Now you can go ahead and kind of roll the arm around and then bring it back to your leg. And we'll do the other side. So extending your left arm out next to you. Perhaps you touch the curtain a little bit. So the thumb is facing down. The top of your arm is kind of facing the front of the body. And then feeling lots of length through the spine, we'll start to bring the left arm back behind us and placing the back of the hand either on the low back, the mid back. And already kind of feeling that sensation, I'm going to come out of it a little bit. Feel nice and lifted here. Feel that stretch through the front of the shoulder. Breathe here. Nice long spine, feeling that stretch through the front of the shoulder. Notice if the sensation is different on this side. It is definitely very, very different for me. And just kind of feel that stretch. And then we'll slowly come out the way we came in. So bringing that left arm back out to the side, you can roll the arm over and bring it back to the front. So here we'll just do a little bit of cat and cow stretching. So using your hands on your knees to kind of pull your chest through, gazing up at the sky, but again, not bringing too much bend through the cervical spine or the neck. So just kind of gently looking upward. We get this nice kind of back bending as the chest falls forward in our cow pose. Breathe here. And then exhale as you round the spine back behind you, kind of coming into that arched back of a cat. Inhale, coming to this little cow. And exhale, cat back. Inhale, cow, back bending. And exhale, cat. Go ahead and come back up to a seat with this neutral spine again. We're going to extend the legs out in front of us and start to recline onto our backs. And take a moment here to just slightly adjust. So you're going to slightly tuck the pelvis under so you feel the low back kind of kissing against the mat. Nice and supported underneath the low back. Feel your spine supported by the floor beneath you. And then go ahead, placing the arms down beside you. We'll bring both knees in towards the chest. And then you can either wrap your hands around your knees here or around the back of the thighs. And just kind of pull the knees in towards the chest, getting this really nice compression through the hip flexor. And it also kind of gives us a stretch through that low back as well. So then, similar to what we did earlier, we'll slowly straighten each leg individually. So starting with your right leg, just start to kind of kick the bottom of the foot up towards the ceiling. Not so much that the leg is feeling a strain. So just a comfortable leg level. My knee is still fairly bent here. And then bending the right leg, straighten the left up towards the ceiling. This hamstring's actually feeling much more well stretched. So it's easier to straighten this leg. And then we'll just slowly alternate back and forth. Right leg straightens, left leg straightens. And then if it feels okay to lift both feet up towards the ceiling, go ahead and do that now. So we have our waterfall pose. And just gently flex the toes back towards you. So we're not doing like a full flex. It just kind of is a gentle flex, like you're feeling your heel pressing up towards the ceiling. After a few moments, you want to roll the ankles out a little bit. Totally fine to keep a little bit of a bend in the knees here. Don't lock the knees out. Don't feel like you have to have the legs perfectly straight. Feel that kind of nice feeling of the compression on your sacrum. So the low back, the top of the hips. And then we'll go ahead and bend the left leg, opening the left hip. So we're coming into our figure 4 stretch. So the right leg kind of supports the back of the left ankle. Go ahead and flex your left toe back towards your knee. And however much is comfortable, start to pull the right leg through. So you can reach the arm through here, or you can kind of keep one hand gently guiding that left knee out, and then the right arm pulls the right leg in. You should be feeling it across the side of the left glute. Breathe here. And then after a moment, we'll go ahead, bring both legs back up straight again. And now this time, the right knee will bend, the right leg externally rotates. So we're opening that hip. And the side of the right foot comes to the left knee. Go ahead and flex the right toes back towards the right knee. And you can use that right hand to just gently guide the hip open. Left hand comes to the back of the left leg to pull the leg towards you, deepening the stretch in your right side, hip and glute. Breathing. Maybe pulling it in a little bit closer, noticing all the sensations that you may be experiencing here. Noticing what's different on this side. Noticing what's the same. And then go ahead, bringing both legs up once more. If you want to stretch the feet back towards you, getting a little bit more stretch through the hamstrings, you can do that here. But just stay nice and gentle. Letting the body feel safe, supported, and comforted. And then we'll slowly bring the knees back into the chest. And then the feet slowly back to the mat. So keeping the knees bent and the feet flat on the mat. Go ahead and once again, maybe you've noticed that you have that little bit of space under the low back. Go ahead and lift up again, slightly tucking the pelvis, feeling the low back pressing against the mat beneath you. And then bringing the feet out to the edges of the mat. The toes will point in a little bit and the knees knock in, resting against each other here. So if you prefer to take a full Shavasana, corpse pose, you can do that here and extend your legs long. But I really like the way that this positioning feels in my low back, in the pelvis, because we did a lot of kind of opening the hips and stretching through the groin. This may be a nice way to close for you, but you can take the Shavasana pose of your choice. And go ahead and rest the arms down at your side with your palms facing up. Breathing here and feeling really grateful to yourself for taking some time to move your body and release some stress. Let your mind wind down slowly. And if you start to notice that you have lots of thoughts, lots of worries, maybe a long to-do list that keeps kind of popping back into your mind, know that, first of all, that's perfectly normal. And second of all, just let those thoughts kind of come and go. So as you notice that you're becoming distracted, thinking about one of those things, notice, and then just bring your attention back to your breath, the sensation of your body, the weight of your body on the floor. I invite you to pause the video here and spend a few minutes in a silent Shavasana, really focusing on trying to be in tune with the body and letting any other distractions just drift away. And whenever you're ready, we'll go ahead and take one big final stretch here. So extending the legs long, extending the arms overhead, stretching out. And then we'll come to lay on our side, and you can bring your arm as a little pillow beneath your head for a moment. Breathing. Our breath is really our only way to signal to our nervous system that it's time to relax, it's time to sleep. So taking one last big breath here, and then using your right hand to push you up, coming back into our little easy seat that we began. Noticing how maybe this position feels different after doing these little stretches. I hope you'll let me know if this class was helpful for you, and any other requests, videos that you would like me to do for you in the future. I always love hearing from you. Have a lovely, lovely night of sleep, and I will see you again soon. Many of our subscribers don't see our videos. Make sure that you click the notification bell. And if you haven't already, follow us on social media for tips, tutorials, giveaways, and daily inspiration. Join us for 14 and 30-day programs, hour-long classes, and much more on our yoga app, Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth. It's free to download and features a variety of wellness content, including yoga, fitness, Pilates, guided meditations, and interviews with dozens of wellness experts. Start your 14-day free trial today by clicking the link below.